In my recent few posts that I've made on both One Lonely Farmer and Ag Talk and Raw, there's one thing I've learned over the 49 years in my life and my entire career in farming. No matter what you're doing in agriculture, you're doing it wrong, just so you know. And that's just an absolute truthful fact. If you're growing only hay, you should be doing corn and soybeans. If you're doing corn and soybeans, why are you messing with hay? If you're doing only corn and soybeans, you need to be doing wheat and hay as well. If you don't have animals, you're doing it wrong anyway because you need animals. If you have animals, you need to be growing corn and soybeans to feed such animals, and if you're not doing hay, then you're going bankrupt. You know, and these are the things that I've heard, you know, in my YouTube career in the 12 or 13 years that I've been doing this. And that is that no matter what I do, no matter how I try, and no matter what different things that I do, it's always wrong in somebody's opinion. Sometimes I do things that are wrong, and I question them, and I don't listen to my questions, and I end up with, you know, bad results. Sometimes they're good results, but, you know, it's like that little song that you hear. Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it all the doo-dah day. Well, that's agriculture. You wake up in the morning, you walk under an auger. Well, the cable could have snapped and smacked you in the head and killed you dead. Oh, you pulled that auger by hand under some power lines. Aren't you afraid that it was going to hit those electric lines and kill you? Oh my God, you went with the front end loader up and drove 20 feet. Aren't you afraid you're going to tip over the tractor? Oh, you're moldboard plowing, you're doing it wrong. Oh, you're chisel plowing, you're doing it wrong. Oh, you're running a disc, you're doing it wrong. Oh, why would you want a vertical tillage machine? That's wrong. Are you running a ripper? Yeah, well, that's wrong too. You know, and if you go to these equipment dealerships, it's all right. They'll sell you a piece of equipment to do what you want to do, whether it's right or wrong. There's an equipment to do the wrong job at the right time or the right job at the wrong time. It's just the way it is. So I'm going with my ripper, and I hear people saying, oh, that's great. Well, yeah, it's great in certain situations, and it's not great in other situations. You can harm your soil as well as help your soil. The only reason that I'm ripping is because of the heavy traffic from balers and things like that I've been running over my fields with, which is causing that deep tire compaction. So, you know, and I've also heard, oh, those tractors are heavy, you should be using tracks. And tracks are better than tires. Oh my God. Well, weight is weight. It doesn't matter if you're spreading it out over the course of 3 feet or you're putting it on a tire, you know, on 2 feet. Tire pressure versus tracks. Tire pressure could actually beat tracks in compaction because tracks have bogey wheels. Bogey wheels are like little jackhammers, and even though over the entire footprint of your track it is, you know, like 4 psi, but where those bogey wheels are going, it's putting points of pressure, which is the entire load that you're pulling. So tracks are wrong. Tires are wrong because I should be using tracks. So I guess the whole point in this 4-minute rant about anything I do in agriculture or anybody does in agriculture is do what you feel is the right thing to do on the land that you farm with the inputs and the inputs that you need and the diversification or lack thereof diversification. If it makes you happy and you're successful, kudos to you. You did it wrong in all the right ways. So there, that's my morning opening for this rant. Anyway, gotta love it. Record. All right, so I'm gonna load out this load of corn before he starts that up and hits me in the head with it. I gotta get this little tarp deal here straightened out. make sure that we don't have any leaks. Anyway, I want to get this load of corn out. Not out of this bin. This bin's fine. I'm running the fan today for a couple of hours. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's always good to run just a little bit of air through there. I will not be removing anything out of here until about March. But yeah, so what we're doing, we're going to take the corn out of this conical bin because traditionally this son of a bitch likes to mold. It just loves to mold up. So I don't think we're going to have any problems, but you never know. You never know. I'm going to run that a hell of a lot faster than that. As long as those belts are good. You got a timer running? No. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna count the rings. You can sit there and hold that for all I care. I'm gonna climb up top and pull that lid off. Hey, view from the top of the tank. A bit of a combine clean out mess there. Yeah, you can see where I ripped some ground down there. I ripped that lower part. I ripped down below my mom and dad's house as much as I'm gonna do there. I ripped out there. I ripped that entire field. That was disked. Tim disked that, so that's why it looks like I chisel plowed it, but I'm actually kind of happy the way that looks. Yeah, I'm actually really happy the way that looks. Came up a lot more compaction in certain areas that I didn't expect and all, but yeah. So I'm not gonna do anything in the next field or the next. There's 4 fields over there. That one, the ones you can see, and then there's a small one there, 4 acres, and there's a little 2-acre piece over on the other side. I'm not gonna do anything there. Anyway, yeah, so what I am gonna do is start bringing compost home, but before I can bring the compost home, obviously I've got to get rid of this corn that's in this bin. This bin is traditionally a pain in my ass. I don't have a fan here, so what I think I'm going to do at some point in the future with this one is actually get up here with a torch, and I'm gonna cut a hole in the top of this thing. All right, and I'm gonna put a bin fan in there that sucks air up from the bottom, or well, I don't know. I'll figure out how I'm gonna do it. I could probably put it right there, take that thing off and just mount that fan straight down and seal these holes up so that it forces the air down. The problem is I'd have to seal this entire lid. I'm probably gonna have to come up with something a little different than that. There is a manhole port right there, and I could probably put a bin fan in there if I put a screen of some sort in front of it so that the corn doesn't come out. And the other idea that I have, not so much an idea, but the other thing that I was thinking of doing was actually taking the top of that dryer off, where the input is over there, moving it to this end and moving everything there down to that end. It's no big deal. It's real easy to do. And then use this bin as a wet bin running into the dryer. Yeah, running into the dryer. And then I could just run an auger up, straight up from the bottom, right? I can run an auger straight up from the bottom and then shoot it into the top there for a wet bin. And because if we've got all of this corn that we're going to be planting, we are going to need to have a smarter way of handling it. That's all. Just a smarter way of handling it. And it's really difficult when you have these old setups. It's either you tear them completely out and redo them, or you make do with what you've got. Well, I'm the kind of guy that makes do with what he's got. Maybe it's smart, maybe it's not, who knows. But that grain bin there, I'm gonna have Automated Farm Services come out and give me a price on raising that up 3 bands. If I have to put bin stiffeners in it, that's fine. But I want to go up 3 bands with that, so that gives me an extra 7,500 bushels or so. And ultimately, I would like to take that bin and put another bin either directly behind it, which could work, or offset to the back there or over there. I don't want to put it over there, but offset to the side or the back here, maybe off to the side, and then run an auger from that auger there at the top, just run it straight across to the next one. So if I'm running beans, I can just put a splitter up there or switch it so that it runs beans into the other bin or corn into the other bin, or the other bin is just, this bin gets full, the other bin needs to get full, something like that. It's not set in stone yet as to what I'm gonna do, but I do have some ideas that if everything that I'm doing now becomes more profitable in the grain business, then that's what I will do. But who knows? I need at least 60,000 bushels of storage to make me happy. Not that it'll make anybody else happy, but just to make me happy. Another successful drop of corn. I will be, these bins are pretty big. I like this place. I think I've said this many times. I like this place. It's a really good place to do business out of. And it's really not that far from me. I've been to farther places and had much worse experiences. So anyway, not much to see here. I'm going to load up again for tomorrow morning. I'm going to take another load, and then that one bin will be empty.